Okay, what if you want to start carrying a pocket knife but you don't really know where to start? You don't know which one to pick. I think the Victorinox Huntsman is a good option, and I'm going to tell you what this tool is all about. Okay guys, the Huntsman. This box is wrapped entirely in black electrical tape. That has absolutely no use whatsoever because you're not going to be able to pull that off or anything. I was just really bored one afternoon and I thought it looked tactical, you know? Anyway, the Huntsman Victorinox, you should say, knife comes with a little instruction sheet. I'm not going to go through it. It's very simple how to maintain it. If any of your blades get stuck, open and close them a couple of times in hot water, then dry them off and then oil them. Okay, why did I want to look at this particular knife? Well, a couple of my viewers made comments along the lines of, yeah, I'm not really sure if this whole EDC stuff is really for me, and I don't really know where I should start, and do I really have to carry 17 Leathermans every day? And well, the answer is no, of course not. But if you want to get into this, here's a good tip. Start with a simple Swiss Army knife. This one is not particularly expensive. None of them are very cheap, but I mean this one really is affordable. I got it in a deal at some sort of Groupon type website. I really didn't pay much for it, definitely less than 30 euros. But I mean it's really affordable. I mean some of these knives go up into the €100 range and more, but this one was pretty good. I think this is a nice one because it's also not too thick, so you can actually carry this. And you can just see if EDC stuff, if carrying a knife like this is really something that you want to do, it fits your lifestyle. But I think if you give this a shot, you're going to suddenly find all kinds of uses for your knife, and then just be really happy that you carry it and may want to expand your range a bit. Okay, so this Huntsman, let's take a look at everything that's on there. We start on this side of the scales. We get this little ring, and I added this little carabiner to it just because I like to be able to clip it onto something very easily. On this side of the scale there is this very cute little pair of tweezers. Very simple, but it gets the job done. On the other side of the grip scales there is a toothpick. It's plastic, you can reuse it, just disinfect it once in a while. And in some of the more expensive models there is a little anodized ballpoint in that you can pull out, but this is a simple model. Okay, now that we're at this side we may as well try this. On this side there is a corkscrew. I personally don't drink alcohol, so I don't really use that, but you don't have to use this just for pulling corks, you can also use it for prying, and that is something I do use this for. Here is a little metal pin which you actually don't get with this model. There is a little hole there, and on the expensive models you get this with the knife, but here I just put it in myself. Okay, so you have that, and then on this side you have two more items. One is an awl. It's very easy if you want to drill a hole. I've actually punched holes in a wall with this to put a painting on. Clearly that was not the hardest of walls, but I mean it is pretty high quality stuff. Also it has a little eye there. In an emergency situation you can put thread through there and use that as a big needle. So that is good, for example, if you want to repair a tent or something like that. Now this is a little hard to get to. I can just imagine you guys' nails actually hurting looking at this. Wow, this one is really tight. Do I have a little prying tool here? Okay, I always hate it when you can't actually open up a tool very easily. So let's just get a Leatherman to the rescue. That is my problem with Victorinox tools. I have had this a number of times with their knives, that some tools are hard to get to. Here we go. Okay, this is what they call a parcel carrier. Imagine a parcel, you put the rope around it, then you can just hold this in your hands, you can pick up the parcel, you can carry it as a little hand grip, and for that it works actually pretty well. The problem with this particular tool is that they put it very close to that ring, so it's very hard to get your nail under there. That's in this specific Victorinox model. Alright, now the bulk of the tool is on this side. There are a couple of things in here. It's really the basics. You get a bottle opener with a wire stripper and a flathead screwdriver. On this side you have a can opener with a small flathead screwdriver, so you can pop this into the can and then sort of cut. It works. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it does work. You have a pair of spring-loaded scissors. This is one of the items I find myself using a lot on Swiss Army knives. Pretty cool thing. Then we have a nice aggressive saw. Then we got a block of wood. I'm not in the best position for sawing, I can tell you. There we go. As you can see, it digs into the wood fairly easily. So if you need to do some sawing, I don't think you're going to make a huge cupboard with just this thing, but you know, in a pinch you need to saw something. I have sawn through blocks like this with just saws on Victorinox tools, so they do work. Then here you have something I also use a lot, a small knife. This is the small blade. It's fairly sharp, as you can see. A nice little tool if you don't want to pull out the huge knife. Well, I mean the huge knife, the big knife. And this is of course what people associate with Swiss Army knives, I think, the shape, and that's just the blade. And these things come razor sharp. They're very, very sharp. And that's something you could definitely use for more bushcrafty purposes as well. Clearly you're not going to baton with this, but if you're on your yard, you have to cut some stuff, you're on the office, you have to open parcels. I think you could do worse than get a Swiss Army knife. They're very sharp and pretty nice. So there you have it, the Huntsman. This is pretty much all I can say about it. It doesn't have a million tools on there, but I think you will agree with me that it has very practical tools. Tools that you can use in an everyday situation. So I think this would be a good thing to check out if you want to see if the whole EDC scene is something you want to get into, if you want to start carrying a tool of some kind. So, I hope this was useful. Leatherman to the rescue. And I'll see you later. Bye bye.